Hello and welcome to our second episode of Sprite Lovers. I'm Nate.
I'm Megan.
And we have a special guest today, a very special guest, my nephew Cameron.
Hello.
And we asked Cameron to come on for this episode because he happens to own quite a few special editions of games. And we wanted to do an episode talking about special editions. And we have some and he has some, so we thought we'd talk about our favorites, show some of the ones that we have, and talk about what we think makes a good special edition, makes it worth getting. Because, as we all know, they cost more than the regular version, so you're usually spending more money. So that's what we're going to talk about this episode, so stay tuned and we hope you enjoy it. So, with special editions, it seems that they never used to be around. There wasn't special editions back in a lot of the old days. There may have been. I don't remember seeing too many. Sometimes you'd see like a special edition, like I have a Nights Into Dreams for Sega Saturn that had a controller with it, and they had one that didn't have the controller. But it wasn't the same as what we think of now. Now there's special editions that you pay a little extra for, and you get stuff with it, you get some in-game stuff. The problem is now it seems like they're mostly just ways to sell more expensive copies of their games, but a lot of times there's cool stuff. But I first remember really seeing special editions start when Halo 2 came out for the original Xbox, and it's actually still one of my favorite special editions, so I'm going to start off showing that. So what Halo 2 did was released a Steelbook edition, which if you're not familiar with, they're really solid quality cases. They're the I know they're knockable, but they.
I think everybody that's gotten a Steelbook case.
Yeah, they've been like you have to feel the sturdiness. You're like, but it's really nice because they're the same size as the other games in collections, and they fit in your shelf nicely and don't stick out too bad like when you get other games that might be oversized. Plus the artwork looks really good on it. It really prints bright, and you know, even this black and white one is like really nice looking, and I love this Halo 2 one. I remember it had making of features, and Halo 2 has a very rough history. You know, they were trying to get a demo done for E3 before it released and stuff, so there's so much good stuff on here to watch. Then the game, and the special edition actually has the manual is from the perspective of the Covenant, which are the aliens from the Halo games. So it was really cool that they did that, because the regular edition had the manual, I guess, was like the UNSC troops and everything. So it was pretty cool they did that. And this kind of started a trend where you started to see a lot of special editions with Steelbook cases. So I'm going to just show a few real quick. On original Xbox, one of my favorites was our favorites too, because Cameron's a big Splinter Cell fan, is this Splinter Cell Chaos Theory with the iconic 3 lights from the goggles of Sam Fisher, and the back's really nice. I mean, like I said earlier, the artwork really looks nice on it, and you know, content aside that they may put in these, when they come with a steelbook, that's almost enough for me right there. So they continue doing steelbooks after Xbox One into later generations. The Mass Effect games have them. I know Cameron has Mass Effect 3 right here, which is pretty cool. It has both Shepards on it. So
they have such a clean look too. I love when they're all like stacked up together on a shelf. They're just very like, you look at them.
Even.
Oh,
yeah.
Very nice, yeah. And even though the game didn't live up to some of the hype, the Xbox 360 launch title, Perfect Dark Zero, has a really nice steelbook case. The content is terrible on it. The second disc, unnecessary. They didn't even need to put it in there. But I really like the case for it. So that was a good one. And one thing happened though this generation where they started to come out with different sized special editions, and they stopped doing away with started doing away with the steelbooks. I really didn't like it. Halo 3 was one of them. It looks real nice when you see the artwork on it and everything, but it's in this weird tin, and it's thicker. It's still DVD size, so it fits with the rest on your shelf. But first of all, I can't even tell what's the front and the back because it opens 2 ways. But the discs fall out. In fact, the thing that held my game disc, the little tab in the center, melted at some point and dripped down the case, probably just sitting on a shelf in a hot summer day. And now it's down here, and it's really, really cheap. I think Gears of War did that too. Yep, there's my special disc falling out of the case right now. So very disappointed with that. And there was other games too, like if you look at this Prey Special Edition, it's a pretty cool game. But this thing, it's such an odd shape. I can never put it on a proper shelf with the rest of my games. And it was kind of annoying that they did that. I was actually really excited because Halo Reach, the last Bungie Halo, was in this big case, and it's got some cool stuff in there, but it's still like, I guess I got to display this no matter what.
The size of a small safety deposit box.
Yeah, it is. It's exactly. So kind of annoying, but I was really happy to see that Halo 4 went back to the steelbook case. And say what you will about Halo 4, but that was one really good thing about it. Except they didn't put an instruction manual in. And I know people don't really care about those much, but it just feels empty. I open it and I'm like, did something not get So what we want to do is kind of just show some of the special editions we have, some of our favorites, or ones that we thought were cool that you might want to see what came with them and stuff. So Cameron, I'll let you start with one of yours.
Alright, what I'm going to show off here is the Borderlands Ultimate Loot Chest Edition. And you obviously get this really durable chest.
Yeah, it's actually from the game, so it's so cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. And then pop it open. It has its contents. There's a little bobblehead right here. Marcus.
Ah, look what I see. A steelbook. Looks so good too. So yeah, I'm telling you, they're amazing.
And then
What is this?
certificate.
Oh yeah, Borderlands 2, number 14,000 of 53,000. So there was 53,000 out there, which seems like a lot, but that was a top-selling game, so I'm sure now having one of those is pretty rare.
Yep. And then you also get a claw map of the world. If you like to hold that up.
That's nice.
And backwards.
We're trying. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, really cool. Really quality. Nice little addition here, so cool. We'll let people know.
Thanks. But then there's also mini lithographs.
Oh,
Very
those are
cool.
cool. I like the blank white.
Where'd that go?
Yeah, those are nice. Anytime there's like artwork in a
So, yeah.
game edition, it's cool. Little stuff from the game and stuff looks awesome. So, cool. Alright.
There's definitely more content, but
Oh, man.
get gearbox stickers.
Cool.
Awesome.
Gearbox.
That was good.
Ooh, what is that?
It's an art book.
Oh, yes. Those are
They are.
fantastic. Oh, yeah, that's cool. And let's do like a flipbook style here. Yep, concept art. A lot of times you see special editions with those. I think that's cool. I think that it's nice when you see where the games came from. And a lot of stuff changes in the development process, so it's cool to see that in a special edition. Another flipbook. No, I'm just kidding.
But then there's this poster of every bad guy that's not in DLC stuff. So
That is cool, yeah. So it kind of shows you how expansive the enemy list is in this game. So very cool. If you haven't played that game, it's a really good game too. Very fun. Very
One
fun.
of my favorite special editions. I purchased this how many years ago? Probably
Came out like 3 or 4 years
three
ago.
or 4 years ago. Target was selling this. I don't think it was a Target exclusive.
No,
you know,
you
but
can find that
at the time I was working at Target, so I got it from there. BioShock 2 special edition, very hefty.
This is awesome.
Open this up a little bit. It's really has really awesome box art.
Yeah, it's like a butterfly of handprints.
But yeah, very cool. And the box itself has a very nice texture to it, which is important to it. I don't know. I personally like that stuff. It's
Yeah,
cool.
it feels really
Yeah,
nice. There's
yeah.
It's not like
It's very
velvety.
quality.
But it does have a unique texture, almost a rubbery texture.
Now this particular special edition at the moment is missing some things because it came with.
They're scattered about.
Yes, they're scattered about the Rose of the Grant household. But this particular special edition came with the game. This is a cool art book of BioShock 2, which sadly I haven't played yet. I know I need to get on that. But I'm not not gonna look at any
She's
of
not
it
gonna-
'cause I don't
she's
wanna
gonna spoil
spoil
you.
myself, but I'll let Nate.
Well, yeah, but
through
just so
that.
you can see, it's kind of the same as the one that was in the Borderlands. It has a lot of concept art. There's stuff that like didn't make it in the game, but there's also like variations of stuff you did see in the game. Really cool. They have they have little quotes from development team and stuff. So that's my favorite kind of behind the scenes art book is when they have explanations too, like the thought process behind the characters they created, the enemies they created. It's really cool.
It's a very cool little art book.
Had the game, of course, which is not.
Yeah, like I mentioned, it's on our shelf. It also came with 3 posters, which are currently actually hanging up in our room right
Yeah,
now.
we'll show them
you
in the
those
video.
later. Very cool, Rapture themes.
Yeah,
you'll see them
if you've ever played Bioshock, there's a very Art Deco theme to the whole game, and there's propaganda-esque posters throughout the game, and it came with 3 of them from the first Bioshock. I think they're from the first Bioshock. It takes place in the same city as the first Bioshock, so it could be from both. I don't know, but they look really nice. So nice that we framed them and put them on our wall. They look really nice framed. So.
The last thing the special edition came with that's not in here, it came with a vinyl, which is the full Bioshock 2 soundtrack. It's currently in my other room right now because I actually use it and I listen to it, but just phenomenal soundtrack. Very cool. That was one of the first vinyls I got. It kind of got me into collecting those, and so there's that special edition.
There actually was also a CD of the first
Yes.
Bioshock soundtrack, which was a
Yes.
really cool edition. So I chose as one of my favorite special editions to show off is Fallout 3. Now Fallout 3 is a great game. I love it. It's in the style of, it's actually a reboot of a franchise that didn't have sequels for a while. It was on PC, and when they brought it out on consoles and PC, there was a special edition one. If you haven't played it before, it's kind of like the role-playing games by Bethesda, Oblivion, Skyrim, the Elder Scrolls series, but plays similar. There's some differences though that harken back to the original series. I never played the original ones. I know there's a lot of diehard people who hate this new game, but I really like it. And I like New Vegas as well, if you've ever heard of that one. That's a really good sequel. So this special edition, if you notice, is a lunchbox. Now what's kind of cool about it is there's a lunchbox in the game that you can pick up and throw around that looks just like the special edition. So it was kind of cool to have the in-game memorabilia actually be the case that holds it. It had the game in here, which I don't have, and I have it on my shelf now, but it has some really cool artwork on it. They kind of like Bioshock, it has some retro advertisement kind of look to a lot of the posters and billboards in the games, even though they're just half destroyed because it's Apocalypse. So really cool that they had that. It came with a bunch of stuff. I actually took this out because it's been on our shelf, but it came with a bobblehead of the Vault Boy from the series, which if you played it, you know this character, but pretty cool little bobblehead. You actually collect these in the game. They're like hidden. There's like, how many are there, 20 or something like that?
Yeah.
Something like that. I can't remember the amount, but there's a bunch hidden up throughout the world, and you can
Display
collect
them.
them all in the game. So it's pretty cool that it came with one of them. It has the slip case. I'm going to read that instead of opening up the case. So yeah, it had a making of and an art book in there. The art book's smaller, kind of like the one in the Borderlands, where it's a little smaller, but really nice little art book.
Next up is my Bioshock Infinite
Beautiful.
sequel to the Bioshocks.
Yep.
1 and 2. And this was awesome because contents.
Yeah, did they have a middle edition too of this?
Yeah, they had a smaller one.
Yeah, they had like 3 editions, which you'll see a lot of special editions have done that lately. They'll be like the standard game, a middle of the road, and then an all-out one. Cameron's got the all-out one, which it's taking a while to get all out of the box.
Yeah.
But this is the Ultimate Songbird edition, so very good one. And it's really good, except for the fact that it's stuck in the box.
Yeah. Forget about this.
Okay,
Well,
we're gonna just let you use your imagination.
Yeah, a nice cloth edition of art book.
Yeah, it's got
the
cloth
characters, main lead.
Yep,
Booker.
right there, Booker. It's got like this cloth.
Really like old.
Yeah, very, like it feels like an old book from like early 1900s. So.
That's really cool. And then you get a lithograph
Yep.
of one of the.
Cool.
Devil's Kiss is one of the powers you can get in the game, so cool. And it's got that same artwork like we were talking about with the other Bioshocks, where it's like of the time period, it, has the same art style. It's really cool. Good to have one of those.
And then it's not out of the box.
It's off the little.
But the keychain of
Yep.
the murder.
Yes.
Pro.
Here, I'll pull it up. Yeah, so it's really small because it's a keychain, but it's a really detailed figure. The Murder of Crows tonic.
Just realized it has a really nice texture to it.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's better than just plastic.
Yeah, a simple plastic, very sturdy. So
Cool.
The actual texture though of the wings is very different. From
Yeah, it's like a
figure.
nice gridded texture to it.
Yeah,
Really cool.
it does feel very cloth.
But really nice. You can really tell they're painted correctly. It's not like one of those toys you look at and you're like, oh, okay, I guess it uses the same brown for everything. Like
yeah.
It's got real texture and detail, so
real love
really
and care
cool.
put into that.
Another good one for your shelf if you want to display figures. So
this is
Really
one of my other favorite special editions. Let me bring this up. I'm currently playing this, so it's a little it's taken apart
It's
right
disheveled.
now. It's the disheveled, yeah. It's the Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword special edition. Very cool box with some shiny artwork on it. You can see it, but
Zelda in gold always goes well with
Yes,
Dynasty,
yes.
or since the original.
but yeah, the game itself, I'm currently playing through a very awesome game. We gotta get back on that. But the cool things that this came with, these are actually really hard to find unless you got it in this special edition. Right now, it's got the little rubber grippy on it. You can see it on the box, the Wiimote controller.
Yep.
This is ours.
Built in with the Wii Motion Plus too, so
Yes,
it's
yes.
a better
it's
version
got a cool
of the
little
controller.
Triforce on there.
Yeah,
Very
really awesome.
sweet, and you can use it, so it's even better
Kind of
actually.
banana.
Yeah, I know. I just turned it on.
They unfortunately have a nunchuck that goes with it.
Yes,
We
that
could only
you
get
can
it
get.
through Club Nintendo, and they sold out wicked fast. And now you can only buy them on eBay, really overpriced. But it would be cool to have a matching set. But it's still a really nice Wiimote.
Exactly. Now, around the time this came out, it was the 25th anniversary of Legend of Zelda, so it came with. I don't believe it's in here.
No, it
Yeah.
isn't. No, it isn't there. The game's in the Wii.
Oh yes, is the 25th anniversary Legend of Zelda anniversary.
Symphony soundtrack.
Symphony. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Symphony soundtrack, which is absolutely phenomenal. I think it has like 10 tracks on it.
Yeah, something
Roughly
like
9
that.
or
yeah.
10 tracks, just beautifully
Yeah, we put it in the
orchestrated.
car after we got the
Yeah.
game. We're like, oh, let's bring
Yeah.
it with us when we go to the store. And we heard the music, and we're like, that is amazing.
It was so good, so good. So
Yep.
that's this.
The next one I'm going to talk about is Max Payne 3, which I was a big fan of. I know it has some annoying load times that makes it so you can't skip the cinematics in it, but I really still liked the game. I thought it was one of Rockstar's best, and they did a good job taking over the Max Payne franchise. So it came out the same day as Diablo 3 on PC, and I know a lot of people pre-ordered one over the other. I went there to midnight launch to pick this up, and I was probably one of like 2 or 3 people who got Max Payne 3, but I still stand by my pre-order because it was a really fun game, and the special edition is really cool. So it's really big if you look at it. It's got some cool artwork of the different variations of Max Payne because he has some very drastic visual changes throughout the game because
Yeah.
he gets fatter and he balds, or I think he buzzes his head completely shaved, and it's so it's cool. It's got some of the artwork on the outside, and I'm gonna actually open it up because you've got to see the figure that came with it. It's pretty cool.
It's right up there with the songbird.
Yeah,
quality.
really nice.
Awesome.
His face looks a little, I don't want to say gelatinized, but it has like a weird texture just because of the plastic, but it still looks really nice. So the game was in this cool little case here. It's like the size of it's like a Super Nintendo or a 64 case, like the old cardboard cases. The game was in there, but I had the game itself on the shelf now, and it also had, it looks like it's on the other side. I keep this in here, but I really like this. I just don't want to carry it around with me. It's a Max Payne 3 keychain, but it's a bullet. So it looks like a real bullet, and I think you can unscrew the back, I don't know what you put in it, besides maybe like Coke if you were a drug addict or something. But pretty cool. I don't want to get it wrecked, so I didn't want to put it on my keychain, but I really like it. It's really neat. So I keep it in the case. But now I'm going to get the figure out so you can see it because it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I'm going to fuss and fight with it just
Yeah,
like
I remember it was a little
that.
tricky to get out.
So it also had, I think, I'm forgetting now that it's been a while since I opened it. It has a little white envelope here in it that has it's just some artwork of the game, like pills and whiskey, because Max Payne's a wreck in this game. Really cool artwork of that, if you can see it. And then more drugs, because a lot of the content in the game that has to do with drugs and ammo, some bullets. So just some cool little artwork that went along with the game. And Rockstar always has nice artwork with their games, like with Grand Theft Autos and stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then lastly, he's still all wrapped up safe and sound, but came with figure Max Payne with his guns in hand, and like I said, his face has this kind of like mushiness to it, but the best part of it,
That's cool.
which Megan just noticed.
I just noticed that. I may have knew that before and then seeing it
The
again.
wood floor that he's standing on is really detailed. It has, I mean, it's plastic, but it has all the little grains of wood, and there's little bullets strewn about, so it looks like, or the shells, so it looks and smells new. Yep.
I know.
Because I put
Plastic
it back in the
smells.
case.
Yeah.
But
Walked it over.
yeah, it's really cool because it really looks. It's just got that cool badass Max Payne look from the game. But really nice little thing. I if we can find a spot for it, maybe someday we'll display it
it's cool.
on its own. But it's just pretty cool to have it. I'm glad to have gotten this special edition. Since I really liked the game too, it was fun going to the midnight launch and getting it and trying it out. So
It was cool too because
Very
like I didn't play the first two Max Payne games until last year, like right before.
Yeah, right before this came out,
So
she was like,
I was
"Oh,
so
I wanna
pumped
play
when
it."
this came out. I was like, we got.
yeah, she was like, bring it home.
Yeah.
So yeah, very cool. If you haven't played that game yet, or any of the games in the series, check them out. They're cool. They got a good sense of humor mixed with some really good action and fun gameplay. So check them out. So, I mean, what do you think is the best kind of a special edition? Like, what is the best stuff to have in a special edition? What makes a good special edition?
Well, for me, personally, it's all about art. And I have a perfect example. Is Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn.
Look at that.
Just came out August 27th.
Yep.
So, and
Hot new game.
collector's edition came with a mono who is a
Yeah, one of the
Final Fantasy
famed
artists.
Final Fantasy artists, all the way since the originals. So.
And this is the case without the slip on it. It's really nice textured. Art's brilliant.
I don't know what it is about the texture on the box.
Yeah,
Very good.
it's quality. It just breathes quality.
Mm.
So.
And
really nice.
what makes a special edition, collector's edition, really neat for me is, case differences, maybe like steelbook or like different art. Like, yep, this is a special edition.
Realm Reborn artwork, really awesome. It's just amazing, some of the artwork in this game, and you see a lot more of that on some of the other content here.
And here's a art book you get with the game. It's got really awesome, unique art.
Oh,
Different character classes right here.
Dragoon, very evocative of Final Fantasy IV.
Let's see, you get some. Here's like chocobos and the moon.
Yeah, and it's cool. There's so many variations, and because it's an MMO, there's so much to the game
so
that
cool.
really nice there. So, yeah.
Then, what makes it extra special is they give you soundtrack of just a few tracks of like the cities you start in and stuff like that,
That's awesome.
which led me to get the actual soundtrack.
Yeah, you got the actual Blu-ray soundtrack.
And then you get more lithographs of like different classes and characters in the game.
Really nice quality.
Square Enix has their little security tokens, one-time security token. Generates the code, you put it in. Then
You're
extra
off
safe.
to a world of imagination and fantasy.
Wow,
But,
that's awesome.
yeah, definitely itching to play that game. I just don't know if I could pay the subscription.
But you do get the free 30 days.
Yes,
from
so
the-
don't tell me, I'll go get it. But yeah, so that's a good example. Like, when you're looking at special editions, those are definitely things that I think are things that make them a real solid sell. I actually don't particularly care for exclusive content because I feel it's stupid when that's the only way you can get certain content, because then when the game becomes really hard to get, like if you didn't get it day one, sometimes people can't get every game day one.
Yeah.
And so if they lock out content to that, I don't mind if they make it free with that and then you get it paid, on the download service later on. But I know I was really upset with Halo 4 had the season pass for all the maps and stuff, and that was the extra content with it, and then they screwed up part of the season pass where the season pass owners who paid extra to get the special edition the people who didn't get the special edition were able to download it for free because of some error, and then so it was like there was no real benefit. And besides saving like $5, it didn't really do much in the long run if I just would have waited and got all the packs. And so sometimes content has like a hit or miss quality to it, but I mean it's still cool when it has more extras. But that's just something that kind of irks me. But like Cameron, I'd say artwork is something really nice, and I always like when you have something you can put on a shelf.
Yeah,
Display, because even if you're not using it actively, when you display it, it looks really nice. Then that's something cool I think about a special edition. So.
What I think is cool, I'm gonna go with these guys and say artwork. I do a lot of art outside of this video. I'm an artist. It's cool seeing how a game develops certain characters and all the attempts and tries to get that character to look just right. So that's very cool to see that. I also really like soundtracks. Like I'm really into music, and it definitely makes the gaming experience that much more cool. And so when you have a soundtrack, I don't know, like I just like listening to it.
Yeah, I agree, definitely. Oh yeah, I'm a big listener to game music.
That sort of gaming experience.
Because with games, there's a certain quality with games soundtracks is you hear them as you play, and then you have those memories of when you played, and when you hear those songs from the game, it takes you right back. That's why a lot of people listen to old retro video game music, because you're instantly taken back to your childhood and those memories you had. So definitely, if a special edition helps with those kinds of good feelings, then it's a good. Yeah, what else don't you like about special editions? I don't like the content, but what about you guys?
I'm not I don't know, anything extra that I haven't really been too picky about things I don't like. I mean, if I had to pick something I know with Halo there was the extra codes they gave you so your avatar could have a Halo reach shirt or something. It's usually stuff like that.
Yeah, things
or
that
extra
are
armor.
not
I don't personally use that
later.
stuff in the games. I don't think I really benefit from that.
Yeah.
That's probably my least favorite if I had to pick.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. What about you?
Oh, for me, even though I did get one for Borderlands and stuff like that, it's different variations. It's fine to have maybe one or two different copies, but games like Assassin's Creed has 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
It's gee, which one should I get?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you have the store exclusives that have their strip
Target
printed on the artwork.
Walmart.
So many times I've gone to a used game store and I'm like, oh look, the Walmart edition, nice.
Yeah, it's so
and all the content's used, so
yeah,
it's just I think one of those negatives for modern gaming. You just kind of have to deal with it, Pick your special editions wisely, I guess.
What special editions do you wish that you had, or is there one that you're I wish I would have gotten that?
That would be the Mass Effect 1 Collector's Edition. Super hard to get nowadays.
Steelbook,
yeah.
Which looks amazing. It's got the main character Shepard and Saren on the other side. Oh, it looks so good. But
brilliant.
Yeah, it's amazing. And how much does it go for? $100 at least if you try to find it.
At least 100
on eBay.
A little more.
Yeah, especially if you want to get a new. But it came and went, and I remember seeing it at GameStops and stuff for years, and not picking it up. And now we're both oh. So that's a good pick, definitely. What about you, Megan?
I wish, just because I love this game so freaking much, I wish I would have gotten the Skyrim Special Edition. I knew it came with this really awesome figure with all the dragon.
Yeah, it's a lot like the
Songbird.
The Songbird, where it has the big dragon statue. I
think it came with an art book too.
Yeah, and is it Alduin, the dragon?
Yes,
Alduin. Yeah, so cool if you play the game. The dragons are really neat looking in that, and the figure looked awesome too.
Yeah, I'm really beating myself up for not getting that one.
Yeah.
Well, what about you?
Well, I guess there's quite a few special editions. Actually, some of the ones Cameron just showed, I wish I had. So, that's kind of something that I want.